Hollywood Reporter.
Oh, they're reporting?
That's right. They spoke to the Russo brothers because they're out there spruiking the grey man. They're like, remember action movies that you love from a certain era. This is that. But a lot of people are like, this is crap. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I actually wanted to watch it this week because it's in some cinemas.
Yeah.
And then talk
not
about
our
this
cinemas?
Week. No, none of the ones. But also...
It's on Netflix
it's on Netflix next week. And I'm like, oh, do I want to pay for this average thing? And then be like, oh, no. Now I have to talk about it. But I wasted time not only talking about it, but also seeing it.
And you risked your life also.
And I risked my life, exactly. But, the Russo brothers doing the rounds, mostly talking about Avengers Endgame and why they snapped certain people and so on and so forth.
They're about to leave their house because they live together, I assume.
Yeah.
They get up and they're wearing matching pajamas.
Yep.
And they get changed in their outside clothes.
They got dual sinks.
Yeah, that's right.
They brush their teeth together.
That's right.
Yep.
And then they just take a deep breath. They open the door and they go outside and they paste on the big smiles and they've got T-shirts that say, "Ask me about Endgame" on them. They're like, oh, this is our lives now.
Yeah. Apparently they're talking about they want to do Secret Wars if they do Secret Wars.
Yeah, they said they do that, didn't they? Yeah.
Which, I don't know, that makes me think that they're not doing Secret Wars, or if they do, but I feel like the Russo brothers would know if they were doing Secret Wars, and if they were doing Secret Wars, they probably wouldn't just be going, I'd love to do Secret Wars. I don't know, what is this? What's happening? Anyways, they were asked about, filmmaking and such, and Joe Russo said, auteur filmmaking is 50 years old at this point. We grew up on that.
That seems inaccurate, but all right.
No, we grew up on that. Was in the 70s. We were kids. We were kids, they said.
All right, yes.
Like your 1970s, your dramas and stuff.
Yes, but I think it probably predated
that. No, 50 years old at this point, basically.
Okay, all right, great.
You're arguing with me. I'm not saying this. I'm repeating
No, I'm arguing with the Russo brothers. If you could pass this along to the Russo brothers.
I will pass this on. I'll wait out to the front of their house.
Pretend you're going to deliver their matching newspapers.
Yeah.
And then hit them with that.
I've actually got a question about auteur filmmaking, not Avengers Endgame.
This seems like a trap. But okay, young man, what are you? And then you get him in headlocks. You get him matching headlocks. You're like, what about Secret Wars? What about it? Ah!
We were kids. It was really important to us. But we're also aware that the world needs to change. And the more that we try to prevent it from changing, the more chaos we create. No, I don't disagree with that. It's not anybody's place to reject the next generation's ideas. We're in crisis right now because everyone's at war with each other. It's sad to see, as guys who grew up loving film, a thing to remember too is that it's an elitist notion to be able to go to a theatre. It's very fucking expensive. So this idea that was created that we hang on to is that the theatre is a sacred place is bullshit, and it rejects the idea of allowing everyone in under the tent. Where digital distribution is valuable, other than what I said earlier about how they push diversity, is that people can share accounts that they can get 40 stories for the cost of one story, but having some kind of culture war about whether there's value in that or not is fucking bananas.
Let me tell you, James, I didn't understand any of that.
Okay, so basically
I lost the thread at sentence one.
Okay, well the bit
actually it was all just one sentence, wasn't it?
No, that was full stops. Maybe I read it like that. So there's a bit in here in the middle which people have been quoting, and I think it's kind of unfair because there's a bunch of stuff around that of how the cinema is an elitist experience.
Okay, because it costs a lot.
It costs money, and it's like you can get 40 films at home by sharing a streaming service or whatever. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think you're probably right, but
I didn't say this.
No,
Mason.
you did. You did. You had them in their headlocks, and you're like, now, when you get out there, you're going to say exactly this.
Now kiss. Yeah, it is expensive.
It is,
especially if you're going and you buy a bunch of stuff and you got a bunch of people with you and whatever. Then yeah, it can definitely add up, and the experience also. It's not this kind of. I don't know. It's not always like this sacred space that a lot of people say that it is, depending on your theatre.
People with their bloody feet up.
Yeah, and all that, and people are like yelling shit and throwing food and whatnot.
Yeah. And the only way to avoid that really is to go with like a gold class or a enhanced occasion or whatever. But that's even more bloody expensive.
Exactly, it's like $50 a ticket or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think what they're also saying.
The last time I saw something in gold class, Rambo: Last Blood.
How was it?
Bad.
The gold class experience.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah.
Oh, Last Blood. I was thinking of 4. I'm like, Rambo 4's right. No, the last one was bad.
That was bad, yeah.
I have no idea what the last one was.
It's just because I couldn't get any regular tickets. So.
I think the last one I went to was like Kong Skull Island, and it was like a screening. And it was like a Friday morning. And
any little sliders?
I think I ordered some food, but I'm like, I'm loving this gold class experience that I would never pay for. I used to get the gift voucher to me all the time as a teacher, which I appreciated.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's kind of hard to be like, here's $60 for a movie ticket.
That's true, yeah.
It's a bit much.
So what they're saying is they're doing this for the little people. They're with your Netflix account that you're sharing with your college buds.
I think though it should and it is both. I think that's good.
Yeah.
If you want, and for example, like Jurassic World Dominion is now streaming already.
Yeah.
So, which is probably stupid because that's still making money. I don't know why they do that.
But I think also, like, they're probably right, but at the same time, even though the experience of going to the movies is probably not as, golden as it used to be, it is.
Was it though?
Well, I think probably, but I think the opportunity, like, if it's on everything that is on streaming, it makes you appreciate everything a little bit less.
Yes.
I think when you can just
It's
go.
like having a hard drive full of movies that you never watch.
Yeah, and it's like, well, okay, maybe The Grey Man is coming out and maybe it is good or bad or what have you, but like you switch it on and you're like, I'm not enjoying this first 5 minutes. I'm going to switch it off and find something else. I'm going to watch Big Bang Theory bloopers on YouTube or whatever. and you don't,
It's funnier than the actual show. Probably. I haven't seen it.
But and you're on your phone and et cetera, and it's not as at least I think that for me the benefit of the movies these days is I've paid my money and I got to lock in and watch this movie.
I completely agree with that. Yeah,
and then I'm probably going to have a better experience because I'm putting away all the distractions and I'm focusing and I'm counting down how much I paid for this movie.
Yeah, when I saw what was it, Tenet, my experience of it, because as Christopher Nolan wanted, I held my phone up and I watched Big Bang bloopers.
Sure, yeah.
It was like screen in screen.
Yeah, terrific,
picture
nice.
in picture.
Nice.
And it was wonderful. It was a really good experience because, one of them is kind of like quite a dry, like, methodical experience where you really got to pay attention. And the other one's just
Tenet.
People sleep.
Now that's Bazinga. That's how we do it, James.
That certainly is, Mason.